too much firepower.
A lot of stars for you on Sunday Night Football.
Prime time, Sunday night. Tonight is a man's game. It means something to you, dog.
Great job. Keep fighting, fellas.
Come on, let's go through. We're a long way from home. We're going to answer the call every time. Tonight, Sunday Night Football, everybody watching.
A brilliant over-the-shoulder grab.
It's locking. Yeah. It's over, baby.
When I lose, this is my moment. You will not forget it. I mastered the game.
Tyreek Hill again.
I am the best.
Here comes Judon.
Do your job. My name is massive.
All-time Kansas City Chiefs record.
Do it again.
And the kick.
The games begin. It's showtime. Prime time. Let the games begin.
Victory. Unbelievable, man. Let's go.
Prescott's going to throw.
Hold him out.
It's showtime.
All right, grab your popcorn then, because it's always showtime when that guy's got the ball. He tried to tell you. Tyreek Hill said nobody can guard me after putting up over 200 yards last week, and Tua Tagovailoa also went off in L.A. Now they're leading one of the league's most exciting offenses into Foxboro to face him, Mac Jones, and the Patriots, hoping to avoid their first 0-2 start in over 2 decades. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Football Night in America. Maria Taylor alongside Jason Garrett and a 3-time Super Bowl champ with the Patriots, Devin McCourty. Jason, I know you got your own rings, but this is about Devin today, okay?
Yes, it is.
You actually spent some time in Foxboro as well leading up to this matchup. What were some of the insights that you took away?
Yeah, I got a chance to sit down with Matthew Judon, but one of the cool things was I walked in the locker room. Music's blasting. This team, they're still confident. They know they wish they could have got that win last week against Philadelphia, but they're loose. They have good energy. They're excited to be playing Sunday Night Football with this big game against a division rival, the Miami Dolphins.
Dev, if your old teammates want to have fun tonight, they got to do one thing. They got to stop the explosive plays of this Miami offense. Last week, it was ridiculous. They had 15 explosive plays in the passing game against the Chargers. Too much one-on-one coverage. Your old boss, Coach Belichick, it's going to be double coverage. It's going to be soft zone. He's not going to let that speed outside beat him.
It's funny you say that. When I sat down with Judon, he said we got to make it physical and make it muddy. Make it a little bit messy for Tua. Don't let him know what we're doing. Make it tough for him all game.
Okay, you're going to hear Devin's conversation with Judon a little bit later, but earlier we were all wondering how the Chiefs were going to bounce back from that Thursday night opening loss, but Devin, they had Travis Kelce back, they had Chris Jones back, and they're a part of what matters because they bounced back.
It's a good time when you get Kelce back on the field and you see that magic when they're able to scramble, find Kelce in the end zone. But this Chiefs defense with Chris Jones playing inside, outside, they showed up all day and made the Jags go 0 for 3 in the red area. That was the difference in the game.
Yeah, talking about showing up. How about this quarterback, Lamar Jackson? He was on fire, making plays with his feet. Anytime he saw man-to-man coverage, he was right on the money. The first one to Aguilar. This guy is something else. They were a little sluggish in week 1. Their offense showed up. He showed up. Big win against the Bengals.
Oh, sluggish quarterbacks in week 1, you don't say. Let's get to Chris Sims. Yeah, talk about the ones that bounced back from week 1.
So you saying I'm sluggish? Is that what we're saying here? But yes, bounce back, redemption, right? That's the theme of this, what we got right here with these quarterbacks. Ryan Tannehill, poor first week performance. Interceptions, didn't take care of the ball. This week, bombs away to last year's first-round pick, Treylon Burke. They need him to come through. He's the A.J. Brown replacement. But Tannehill here late in the overtime, dime pass on the sideline to DeAndre Hopkins. He threw a lot of great balls today, played really well for the Tennessee Titans. Geno Smith, week 1, was stymied by the Rams defense. Not today. Throws for over 300 yards. They go on the road. You see the big pass to Metcalf there. And then this is the game sealer right here. Tyler Lockett, end zone, touchdown, see you later. Seahawks win. Geno bounces back in a big way. And then it was a nightmare last Monday night. Josh Allen, bad turnovers. Back to Josh Allen magic today. Wanted to scramble, sidearm throw, no big deal. Gets outside the pocket, throws across his body. Him, Mahomes, nobody does it better. He was awesome today, Maria. 31 for 37. Patient. Took what the defense gave him. Back to you, Maria.
Thanks, Chris. We're going to head out to Foxboro now to check in with Jack Collinsworth, Rodney Harrison, and Tony Dungy. I think they're surviving that huge crowd out there.
Maria, as you can hear, it is a homecoming for Patriots Hall of Famer and Rodney Harrison. The We Love Rodney chants already coming down. I remember right, though, you two have a little history in this building, don't you?
Jack, I tell you, man, it feels so good to be at home. I love it here. But also, Coach Dungy, they're cheering for him. No
Can you
boos.
believe that? Can you believe that? Got some love from the Patriot fans.
Nothing but love for Coach
They
here.
were. I remember you get a couple wins here as well, 05, 06, the last two.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. So it wasn't all bad here.
That's right. And you went down to Miami this week, spent some time with the best receiver in the NFL in week number 1, Tyreek Hill. That conversation coming up later in the show. What'd you learn about him?
I had a chance to talk to head coach Mike McDaniels, and he rant and raved about Tyreek Hill and his practice habits. Said he was the hardest working practice guy, and he talked about his impact that he had, not just on the young guys, but the veterans as well.
And Hill is a great receiver. Jalen Waddle, they've got a lot of speed. But I've seen this movie before, Jack. I've come in here with high-flying offenses that look good and got shut down. Bill Belichick will have a plan. He's going to slow the game down. Jason talked about it, making it dirty. That's what we're going to see, a messy game tonight.
But, Jack, this is the type of game that you miss a Devin McCourty, a guy that has experience going against Tyreek Hill, a great communicator, making sure that everybody's on the same page, and a safety that can cover.
And I like what you told me about Tyreek Hill, his practice habits. He treats practice about like you did. And when you're hardest worker, your highest paid guy is your hardest worker, you can build a winning program around that.
Coach.
It sure does. You got a quarterback playing like this and Tua Tagovailoa. I know you guys talking to Tua before the game. We'll get to some of those comments as we go. We got a great one coming up for you on Sunday Night Football.
Morning. Or afternoon, whatever it is.
I might be more fired up about this press conference than any press conference ever.
You know, the Dolphins, as we know, really good football team.
Bill, the leader of the ship, was at the same job when we were all like, what's an iPod?
We'll get the injury report today. It's the best I can tell you.
How much weight do we put on the official depth chart?
How heavy is the paper?
Let's just end on a high note.
He always has a way to end on a high note, doesn't he? For different reasons. Definitely two of the most entertaining head coaches to watch at the mic. This rivalry is starting to heat up as well. The big move this offseason, though, Belichick bringing in Bill O'Brien to run his offense. Mac Jones, he threw it 54 times in week 1. What do you expect tonight?
Well, we won't see that because they know they have to slow Miami down, and you can slow them down on offense, too, by running the football. Devin McCourty talked about making it a muddy, nasty game. This is what I expect to see. Ramondre Stevenson banging it up in there, running the football inside.
And last week, Coach, the Dolphins defensively, they kept 2 safeties back because they were so afraid of all the Chargers' weapons. This week, they're not afraid of the Chargers, of the Patriots' weapons. They're going to bring that extra safety down there. Should be Javon Holland, and he's going to have to make these open field tackles.
You're absolutely right, Rodney. I talked to some of the defensive coaches from the Dolphins, and they're expecting that. They said, we have got to stop the inside run. You're going to see a lot of 8-man fronts
But
tonight.
also no Jalen Phillips tonight. Who's going to be that defensive end that helps in that run game, Jack?
One of their best pass rushers for sure. And remember, the Patriots, they paid Juju Smith-Schuster coming off that Super Bowl, $25 million over 3 years. There's Bill O'Brien as offensive coordinator. But you look at that final drive last week, it was the 6th-round pick in Demario Douglas who was on the field. Let's go back in to Maria.
All right, thanks, Jack. Yeah, you saw Bill O'Brien right there. We got our first look at what his offense would look like implemented for the Patriots. Mac Jones throwing it 54 times. That set of attempts led the entire NFL. But your take on the system that we saw in week 1.
Right. They don't want to throw it 54 times. We know that, right? But I think the big thing that we saw from last week is as a quarterback, you want answers, right? And there was a real plan here with Bill O'Brien back as the offensive coordinator. And, of course, you saw the comfort level from Mac Jones. There's nothing worse as a quarterback when you get to the line of scrimmage and you go, wait, I don't know what to do if they play this defense, or I'm not sure these guys are being open. Mac Jones, the passing game, they thrived last week.
I think the other big piece of this, Simsy, is it all fits together. 3 different bunch plays. We throw a drag route, we throw an out route. Now they get in the high red zone. They throw a double post. Plays that start out looking the same that are different.
Right.
And Mac Jones looks really comfortable. He's got a big smile on his face. They don't want to throw 54 times, but it looks a lot better than they did a year ago.
Yeah, and I got an opportunity to talk to Mac when I was back in Foxboro, and Mac said it. He said, I'm comfortable, and he said, I know everyone knows I'm smart. They think I'm going to try to know everything, read it all. I got to just let it rip. Play what I see, have fun, and throw the ball down the field.
Yeah, and hey, he does have – their passing game was impressive last week. Yeah. And, of course, we saw last week Miami get run on by the Chargers. Yeah. So if they can get a little run game going today, it might open up some plays down the field.
He still had 316 yards, 3 touchdowns, and like you said, that smile on his face. And we got to give some credit to Return of the Mac being the song that was on his highlight.
Right?
The fact that we weren't excited about that, we got to do a little bit better. But it was a wild day here for week 2 of the NFL season. Kendrick Bourne taking a couple selfies.
A little selfie.
I like it.
Kendrick Bourne is like Jason Garrett. Mr. Selfie.
Some competition right there.
Can't wait for this top 10 showdown. Saturday in South Bend, it'll be Ohio State taking on Notre Dame. Marvin Harrison Jr., he's a Heisman Trophy candidate. I sit down with him this week. You'll hear from him against Sam Hartman and the Fighting Irish. Our coverage will start at 7 Eastern on NBC and Peacock. Guys, we got a Football Night in America alert. The Giants were down 28-7 in this game. Graham Gano stepping up and knocking down the 34-yarder to get the victory against the Cardinals.
Unbelievable. Danny Dimes was throwing dimes all second half. Big plays.
2 touchdowns for Danny Dimes. We'll get to the highlights a little bit later in the show. But let's walk you through what we've already seen so far in week 2, starting with the Colts taking on the Texans. C.J. Stroud, the number 2 overall pick, against Anthony Richardson, the number 4 overall pick.
We had the rookie quarterback showdown, and Richardson looked really good early, throwing the ball, and then, of course, here rushing touchdown, but little problem.
Yeah, check out this replay here, Chris. He goes down hard. He does pop back up, but he's eventually taken back into the locker room and is ruled out with a concussion. Did not return.
Head hit the turf hard, but then this is why they have a great backup in Gardner Minshew. The Colts offense was great. They were up 31-10 late in the third quarter. Texans made a late charge, but the Colts really controlled the football game.
Colts get their first win under head coach Shane Steichen, 31-20 against the Texans. How about the Chargers taking on the Titans? Justin Herbert looking to bounce back after that tough week 1 loss.
He kept finding Keenan Allen all day, but this Chargers team, they always have to outscore their opponent. Makes it tough for them.
Tennessee here to respond. Ryan Tannehill looking.
Some people complaining about Tannehill. Threw some deep passes today. That nice little pop pass in the back of the end zone. Big play for the Titans.
Okay, yeah, that would be a field goal for the Chargers. So we're headed into overtime. So Tannehill looking for his former Cardinal, DeAndre Hopkins, 14-yard pass.
Yeah, when you're in overtime, find Hopkins. That's what he does. He catches the ball, and he makes big plays in the game.
Rain starts pouring down. Nick Folk said, give me the ball. 41-yarder is good. Titans won it back.
I miss you, Nick Folk. Keep picking game winners, man. There we go.
Titans' first win since November 17th, ladies and gentlemen. But a great victory. The Bears taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield trying to go to 2-0 in this matchup.
Matt Eberflus takes over the defensive play calling for the Bears. That's a hard guy to stop right there. As a quarterback just thrown up to the big guy. Mike Evans doing it again.
Defense came into play as well, Jason.
They sure did. How about Shaq Barrett at the end of the ball game? Chicago was in there. 2 minutes to go. It's a field goal game. They throw the screen. Shaq Barrett makes them pay for it.
Emotional day for Shaq Barrett. Suffered a tragic loss of his 2-year-old daughter this spring, and he had this to say after the win.
I always plead for my family already, but then having like that extra incentive and making me want to go a little harder for it they never stop sucking. It's always going to suck, but like at least I'm able to shine some spotlight on her a little bit. Camera was on me after I made the play. I told her, love you, miss you when she was here. And so I'm glad I'm able to still get some spotlight for her and to the Lord above, because he's the reason why we're here right now, and then just trusting his plan, and no matter what it is, it just works for good. So I'm just trusting that, and I'm just going through every day, trusting that and believing that.
You know, Barrett's dedicated this season to his daughter, Araya, but he and his wife, Jordana, are also expecting a baby daughter early next year. So our thoughts and prayers are with your family, and so happy for that moment for him today in week 2. Well, we got plenty more coming for Foxboro as we get you set for Dolphins taking on the Patriots on Sunday Night Football.
Is Football Night in America, served by Applebee's.
So for Miami, Miami, they spared no expense at the trade deadline last year, including a first-round pick to bring in Bradley Chubb, and then they signed him to a 5-year, $110 million contract. That's big money right there, Hot Rod.
6'4", 270 pounds. You wait till you see him in person. He looks like he should just be bullying everybody, Coach, but he plays a soft, finesse type of game. They got to get him playing more physical and dominating. Since he's been with the Miami Dolphins, he's been average.
And on the Patriots side of the ball, I want to look at Kyle Duggar tonight. He's a big safety man like you, used to being near the line of scrimmage, causing havoc. I think we're going to see him deeper, double covering receivers, playing deep zones, keeping the ball in front of him tonight.
But if I'm Coach Belichick, I keep 2 guys on Tyreek Hill every single play. He cannot ruin the game for me.
And to your point also, Coach, remember, Jonathan Jones, we just learned, is going to be inactive tonight.
That's a big loss
there in that secondary. And the Patriots, they haven't started 0-2 since 2001. That was the year a young goat named Tom Brady went on to win the Super Bowl. Back into you, Maria Taylor.
All right, appreciate it, Jack. Let's get back to the highlights. Packers on the road taking on the Falcons. Jordan Love's second game coming off a Week 1 victory, Chris, here.
Yeah, just like we saw last week. Looked very comfortable through 3 quarters. The Packers offense looked good. The defense was playing well. The Falcons were having hard times getting in the end zone, Maria.
This is a big 4th down here, Chris. Desmond Ritter's going to take it for 6 yards for a touchdown. The Falcons down 5 after that one. And we've got just over 2 minutes to go. Falcons down 2 and in field goal range.
Oh, that's right. And that's where my old Texas Longhorn guy right here, Bijan Robinson, started to take over. The Falcons owned the 4th quarter. The Packers really couldn't get anything going on the offensive side of the ball, and their defense had a hard time stopping Ritter and Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, the Falcons made the go-ahead field goal, and Packers on the last chance could not get the play completed. That means the Falcons hold on to win. They're 2-0 for the first time since 2017. I guess
and
they
that is disgusting. That's disgusting.
I guess is that what happened? Seahawks taking on the Lions. C.J. Gardner-Johnson wants the fans to embrace being the villain, so they got their ski masks on. To the 4th quarter we go. Goff's throw intercepted by Trey Brown.
Yeah, Goff intercepted right here, but shows resiliency. He just kept playing. That's been his career. But right after that interception, you're thinking, oh, man, they got to stop letting Goff throw the ball. But Goff comes right back the next drive, and there he is.
That was his first interception in 384 passes, so he's got some faith in himself. That time he finds Josh Reynolds for the 4-yard touchdown. Detroit down 3. Okay, let's go to just over 2 minutes later, and Khalif Raymond gets the carry, 11 yards on the game.
Khalif Raymond continues to show up in the return game, and every once in a while on offense, making guys miss, gets a big first down right there to help them get into overtime.
Yes, they would kick a game-tying field goal. We're forcing overtime. Geno Smith and the Seahawks, what say you? An opportunity to score here wins it.
Lockett always makes big plays, and that one, they steal a game in Detroit the ski mask way, Maria.
Yes! Oh, you said you want to be villains. Well, what if I told you the Seahawks stole a ski mask and it made its way into the locker room? What do you think the scene would look like?
It would look just like this. You partying, we throwing it up. We just having a good time in the locker room. Detroit's not going to like this. Gardner-Johnson might have tried to make his way to the locker room if he saw that.
I mean, it looks like a great way to celebrate and use the ammunition to celebrate in the locker room afterwards. But Geno Smith, 328 yards, 2 touchdowns. But you were most impressed, Jason, with that overtime drive.
Yeah, disappointing loss last week against the Rams for the Seattle. I love Seattle. I think they got a chance to be really good this year. They came back with a vengeance. Geno in overtime was fantastic. He finds DK Metcalf in the middle of the field here. Protection was clean all day long, particularly late in the ball game. Geno finds Parkinson. They just kept pressure on this Detroit defense the whole time. And there's the game winner to Lockett. He was impressive throughout. He was most impressive at crunch time.
Yeah. Lockett caught a couple of touchdowns. The Seahawks bounced back from, remember, it was a very lopsided loss to the Rams. And we showed you a little bit earlier, the Falcons getting the win. The rookie, Bijan Robinson, let's get a hand clap for him, looking like a star. 124 yards rushing. Chris, what did you see out of the rookie running back?
Well, that's why they drafted him in the top 10, right? He can do it all. It's not only running between the tackles, it's outside the tackles, and then he's a threat in the passing game. Last week, like you said, it was disappointing. They got one of the best offensive lines in football. He looked a lot more comfortable. You could see the change of direction ability from the guy. The ability to stick his foot in the ground and make people look silly, and then, as you see, really smooth out of the backfield. He is going to be their go-to guy in this offense. They're going to build it around him. Great start, great job today by Bijan Robinson.
All right, the Falcons off to that great 2-0 start. Meanwhile, just a couple of former Alabama teammates hanging out. Tua Tagovailoa and Mac Jones got to go up against each other, and they split the meetings just a season ago. Who wins round 1 of 2023?
Performance electrified. Presented by the all-electric Acura ZDX.
Deep downfield, wide open, touchdown! Right on the money. He fires toward the end zone. Yeah! Holy smokes, he had mustard on that one. Don't tell me Mac Jones can't throw seams. Corner and it's caught. Touchdown!
That's what 466 is if I can't throw deep. Thanks.
Football Night in America is brought to you by Applebee's. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood. By DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. And by Corona Extra. Find the fine life. Live La Vida Más Fina.
Welcome back to Football Night in America. Let's see some of the throwback jerseys we've got out here today.
Legend right there. Danny Marino.
That's y'all time.
Oh, we got some my time. I know that right there. We got Edelman, Brady, and Gronk. You can't go into the slot. Oh, Ricky Williams.
I played against Ricky Williams.
You didn't want to hit him.
I went low.
Right there.
Oh, the whole everybody's Brady. Come on, family. Get some versatility.
Where's the 32 at? There we go. That would have been fun to play with 37, though. I would have took that.
Oh, we're going to throw it back since someone was already wearing your throwback jersey, Devin. You remember this?
Oh, yeah, don't kick it to him. Oh, he's dangerous.
You're 6 deep right there.
Oh, where's my book at? Oh, I'm sorry, Nick. I still love you, though, Nick.
God.
Here we go.
I forgot you were that fast.
You forgot.
Showing up, Brown.
All right, Maria, you got to break down this. Look at that right there, Maria. Oh, look at him go.
What do they call that?
What are you doing?
It's all good till
That's a special.
It looked like you were cooking something.
No, that's a special dance with me and my college friends. We sing. You get that hip in it, you never know.
See, that's when you know with the old school that was in 2012. He can't run that fast anymore, and he definitely can't dance. But Devin, we're happy with us.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. That's why he's here wearing a tie now. All right, let's go elsewhere in the AFC East. We have the Bills hosting the Raiders. I love that you're such a good sport. Great job, Devin. Okay, Jimmy G made his debut at Denver last week, but he's kicked off against Bernard.
Really, it's hard to say they controlled this game early, but they did. They got the ball, they scored, they stopped Buffalo, but then that interception kind of changed the whole first half and the game.
Josh Allen trying to bounce back from 4 turnovers last week against the Jets. So much better.
I mean, that play's unbelievable. He looks like he's about to run, then he stops, jumps backwards, sidearms it. I don't know if we want to see this, but as a fan, I love to see it.
He would have 3 touchdowns in this one and 0 turnovers. The Bills get the win 38-10 at home. Ravens take it on the Bengals. AFC North rivals, Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow. They meet again, and both of them got paid, got straight to the money. To the third quarter we go. Burrow picked off by Geno Stone.
Yeah, Joe Burrow missed a lot of training camp. He was ugly last week. He was ugly for a lot of this ball game. Uncharacteristic mistake right there.
Coming off a career-low 82 passing yards last week at Cleveland. Jackson, though, he had played great. He had Mark Andrews back.
Yeah, Lamar was rolling today. Looked really comfortable in week 2 of Todd Monken's offense. He got his favorite target in the low red zone.
Whoa, Nelly, a 17-yard touchdown to Nelson Aguilar. I stole that from you, actually, Devin. I'm not even going to lie. Jackson gets the win, 237 yards passing and 2 touchdowns on the day. Joe Burrow just had 35 yards in the first half of this one, so he finished with 222. The Bengals score their first offensive touchdown of the season in this one, but still get off to that 0-2 start. But let's get back to Action Jackson and what he was able to do, because he almost passed for as many yards as the total yards they had in week 1.
Well, they were a team that didn't play in the preseason either, right? So they looked a lot better. He looked more comfortable this week, and it's a drop-back pass game. It's this throw right here. This is the one that got Jason Garrett's attention. He went, whoa. I mean, we're just going to throw a 60-yard laser down the field on the money, right? And then the movement. Of course. I mean, this frustrates everybody. Devin McCourty Marty could speak to this better than anybody. 3rd and 3, everybody's covered, and he still gets the first down.
Yeah, before you didn't have to really talk about the drop-back passing game. If he did drop back, you used to only worry about the scramble. Now he's throwing a deep pass. He's throwing passes in the intermediate part of the field. It just looks awesome for Lamar Jackson right now.
It works both ways, though, because they're afraid to rush him.
Yeah.
So now he stands there, surveys the field. He threw the ball on time. His accuracy was outstanding at all 3 levels. They look really good on offense.
They did. And they ran the ball today, too. We can't always forget that.
yards
That's
rushing.
exactly right. It starts there.
Gus Edwards, Rutgers, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My God. I was going to say, and that's without J.K. Dobbins. But we got to get Rutgers into every show. Meanwhile, the Bengals start 0-2 for the 2nd straight year, and Joe Burrow said he tweaked his calf. We're going to keep an eye on that with Pro Football Talk for the latest. But speaking of which, let's get it to Mike Florio, who spoke with Josh Allen.
And Josh Allen was very happy today. He attributed the win to a total team effort, great defense, great running game. He distributed the ball to 9 different receivers. And I asked him, when that disaster happened on Monday night and the media is saying all sorts of negative things, do you pay attention to it? Do you ignore it? He said he paid absolutely no attention to any of it. He deleted Twitter, now X, from his phone, Instagram as well. He said to me, I watched so many YouTube videos on poker this week, I feel like I can join the World Series of Poker right now. So that's how he dealt with the loss. Also, one other note, Devontae Adams of the Raiders exited the game late. He's being evaluated for a concussion. We'll be keeping our eyes on that one as well, Maria.
All right, thank you so much, Mike, for the latest. And, Chris, that's also how you deal with scrutiny, too, right?
Right.
You just download.
Download YouTube, World Series of Poker? Not exactly. You call me sluggish.
I'm sorry. It's a rough night for you. Hopefully not for Mac Jones as we get set for Sunday Night Football.
That's a pretty helmet, man.
It is.
Here we go, boys. Here we go. Come on, baby. Let's go. That's what we needed. Holy smokes. Pulling every trick out of the bag. Took it to the house. What a beautiful thing to watch. They're on their feet.
Right on the money. Wow.
A laser. Captain to captain.
This is Football Night in America. Served by Applebee's.
They call him the cheetah, Tyreek Hill. Remember, he led the league in receiving just a week ago, 215 yards. I mean, he's probably still running. He looked loose, so I'm already afraid for the Patriots defense. I'm sorry, Devin. For more on Tyreek Hill, let's get to the DraftKings Sportsbook 3-play. Chris?
Yep, right here with Matthew Berry, the fantasy expert of the world. He is here. Okay, I mean, this Dolphins offense, it's like a kid in a candy store, right? All these weapons, I got to think you're going there.
100%, obviously, so many weapons. But let's start with Tyreek Hill, okay? There's been 13 games that Tyreek Hill has played a fully healthy game with Tua Tagovailoa. He's had at least 80 receiving yards in 9 of them. I think he gets that number tonight. Look, first reason why? Opportunity. 2 games against New England last year, 19 targets in those 2 games. And I know both Coach Dungy and Coach Garrett talked about doubling Tyreek. I don't know that it's going to matter because they use so much motion to get him free, Chris.
That's right. He is the focal point of the offense. And it's Mike McDaniel and his genius of the motions, the shifts, and he's always moving Tyreek Hill around that it's hard to set a double team on him. You don't know where he's going to be. They're very creative before the snap, after the snap. There's a lot of window dressing and bells and whistles to make sure they get the ball to number 10 in space. And as we know, when he gets it in space, he's about as dangerous as we've ever seen. All right, are we going to give anybody on the Patriots offense love, or are we just going to keep dialing
It's still with the Dolphins right now. Patriots later in the show, Chris, but what I'm going to say here is that it's not just Tyreek Hill, it's Jalen Waddle. 13 games, the full games that he's played with Tua, Jalen Waddle has averaged 88 yards. We know Tua's going to be throwing it all over the field. I think at least 250 yards for Tua Tagovailoa. Love all the Miami Dolphins offensive players tonight against New England.
They're the fastest thing on turf right now, this Miami Dolphins offense. DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and tonight, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the app, use promo code SNF when you sign up. Maria, back to you.
All right, I want to talk a little defense, guys. Patriots pass rusher Matthew Judon coming off a career year, and this week, Devin went back up to Foxboro, found himself in a little unfamiliar territory in the visitors' locker room, but he also got to meet up with his former teammate.
Come on in, man. You always play the music in the locker room, but you got a little treat right here, man.
Halloween. Yeah.
inside this building always think, if you play for the Patriots, you got to be buttoned up, never talk about anything. What made you feel free coming here and I'm going to do my job, but I'm going to have fun doing it because that's who I am?
I think one of the biggest things, outside looking in, you see just stuck-up guys. But then when you get in the building, y'all joke, have fun. And I was like, man, these dudes not like...
It's a good time over here.
Yeah, like these dudes not pencil necks. Y'all just allow me to play football. And when I can play football, I can be myself.
What is the best piece of advice and then that one funny moment that you had? Man, it's Bill Belichick.
Stupid thing. The funny moment is he never called any social media right.
Put you on the snap face there when we were talking about that.
There's always something.
Would not say that I'm Mona Lisa Vito of the football world.
It's a fact.
His advice, may be more about continue to play. This team does this, and then you'll come back in the meeting room. How you know that? The game low-key played out exactly how he said.
The Patriots staged a late rally, and again, they come up short.
Coming off the field, I told the team, we don't care about no moral victory.
How do you get the guys to say, no, we will leave games with wins and nothing less than that?
I can say, we about to win the rest of the game.
That'd be good TV, so if you want to say that. He's 16-1 New England Patriots.
You know, I got the Charles Barkley guarantee that we're going to play our butts off. You're going to see a team flying around and playing their hearts out for the man next to them.
Full conversation on the NFL and NBC YouTube channel. I love you're already coaching them up. That will be good TV, so let me tell you what to do. But I'm shocked you came back and didn't just suit up for the game, Devin.
They told me I was too old to stay in the locker room. That's why I'm back here. I don't make the cut anymore. That's how it goes, you know.
But sitting some time with Judon, what did you take away from that conversation?
This defense, they want to be physical. They want to come out. They want to set the tone. They want to show that, hey, that wasn't just kind of a fluke last week against Philadelphia. We're a good defense from last year, and we're a good defense this year, and they want to show that tonight against Miami. And you can see right here, they got to deal with this guy if they want to be a good defense. Being physical. John Simon jams him. Then Kyle Van Noy. And then one of the biggest things of going against Tyreek Hill, you have to get back. Bill uses a little bit more colorful words in that get back, but knowing where Tyreek Hill is, the old guy back when he was a little younger, knew where the cheetah was, and he always made sure he was there. And then leverage. Right here you see Jalen Waddle catch the ball. No different than Tyreek Hill. You have to leverage him. You can't let him outside, because if you let him outside, that's when trouble happens. And then again, Jason, you got to really get back.
Yeah, Dad, the common theme for me on all those earlier downs, there's 2 and 3 guys giving these guys attention. Last week against the Chargers, this guy was by himself way too much. It's 100% of the snaps. It's not 80% of the time we're going to do this, because those other 20%, he's going to beat you. So 100% of the time, put 2 guys on this guy, and on Waddle, too. Make him run the football. Make Mike McDaniel run the football one more time. That's how you beat the Dolphins.
Yeah, Devin hit on it to me in a big way. The changing of the looks is really important. Mike McDaniel, he's as creative as it gets. If you let him in a rhythm, Tua knows what you're in every play, forget it. You're not going to stop them. One area I look for an advantage for the Patriots, 3rd down. I do think that pass rush can beat up this offensive line a little bit in that area. We'll see if they can pull it off tonight.
Tua Tagovailoa, 8 passes for 20 yards or more in week 1, so that'll be what they're trying to do against this Patriots defense. All right, guys, we had a wild finish in the Commanders and Broncos game, so I want to get you right to it. And we start with the Hail Mary with 3 seconds left. Russell Wilson just chucking the ball up. The 50-yard touchdown is caught by Brandon Johnson.
Yeah, we know the quarterbacks to my left and right, they love this ball. Knock it down! Knock the ball down! Don't let them catch it on the tip! Don't do it!
Now they got to make the 2-pointer.
Yes, the 2-point conversion, an opportunity to tie this ball game back up, and it is no good.
Hey, good thing Matthew Berry wasn't in here, because he would have been screaming because the Commanders find a way to go to Denver and get a win. That's a big win.
He was screaming. I heard him back there, okay? I can let you know.
All right, so the Broncos are now 0-2 with their start, and 35-33 is your final score in Denver. All right, Jason, let's go to the Giants taking on the Cardinals. Brian Daboll. Remember, they're coming off that embarrassing 40-0 loss on Sunday. They trailed 21 in the 3rd today, but rallied back.
Amazing. They were outscored 57-0 in the first 6 quarters. And Daniel Jones did not blink, made plays with his feet, made big-time plays in situational football, none bigger than the Hodgins touchdown.
Yeah, and then Graham Gano lines it up 34 yards. It is good.
Go ahead, DJ.
Complete. Yeah.
And he dives.
Let's go. 259 yards for Daniel Jones. All right, the 49ers taking on the Rams. We go straight to the first quarter. Christian McCaffrey, need I say more?
Well, we know it's the 49ers. That O-line, they're going to run the ball. They're going to give it to McCaffrey. He was awesome all day long.
Okay, Deebo Samuel, need I say more?
Oh, well, that's the second guy in the rotation. It goes McCaffrey, and then let's get it to this guy who's a running back playing wide receiver. And you can see he's just such a weapon, and Shanahan knows how to utilize all of them together.
Okay, in the fourth quarter, the Rams down 7. Matthew Stafford is going to throw his second interception. But remember, the Rams were coming off a win in week 1.
That's right. It's tough. It's down this pass rush. Matthew Stafford played really good. It was 17 all. They were driving and kind of had the 49ers on the ropes. Rams player dropped the ball, popped up in the air, and the game was never the same after that. The 49ers took that momentum and rode it all the way home.
All right, let's go over to Mike Florio. Saquon Barkley had 2 touchdowns, but left with an injury. What would be the latest on him, Mike?
It's a right ankle injury for Maria Taylor, or for Saquon Barkley. Sorry about that. Maria Taylor is fine, by the way. She hasn't injured her ankle yet. He's had some injuries in the past, too. Right ankle in 2019, torn ACL in 2020, left ankle in 2021. It's a demanding physical position, and X-rays, we'll see what happens. They play Thursday night in San Francisco. We'll keep it updated at PFT. Maria.
All right, thanks, Mike. Glad to know my ankle's doing good. Doing just fine. We have so much great excitement in week 2. A couple big games left to show you. The Chiefs bouncing back in Jacksonville. That's a great one. And also the Jets dominated by Dallas. We'll get you all of those highlights coming up next when we return on Football Night in America.
Welcome to the Hyundai Sunday Night Kickoff.
So only a 31-year age gap between tonight's head coaches, Mike McDaniel, the 40-year-old Yale graduate and understudy of Kyle Shanahan, now enters his second year in the Miami spotlight. Over on the other side, Bill Belichick. He has won 6 championships in 24 seasons, leading the Patriots. Only a 25% ring rate for the longest tenured coach in the NFL. Let's go on the field, presented by Hyundai. Mac Jones, new offensive coordinator this year, and Bill O'Brien as he makes his return to New England.
And Mac looks a lot more comfortable on the football field. He's playing with a lot more confidence, and he believes in Bill O'Brien's system. Last year, he didn't believe in the system.
And on the Miami side, Tua Tagovailoa, second year with Mike McDaniel, he is so much more confident. He's always had touch. He's had accuracy and anticipation, but his command is so great right now. He's making the run-pass option decisions so quickly, getting rid of the ball, playing fantastic football.
And Coach Rodney made the trip to Miami this week, not a bad gig, to learn the secrets of Tua's #1 target in Tyreek Hill. This is good. Enjoy.
Let's go.
I got to go back to your first touchdown. J.C. Jackson's in front of you playing tight man-to-man bump coverage. Derwin James starts to creep down. What are you thinking?
The whole game we've been inside releasing. So I go to the sideline, I tell Coach we should run a Z-Sky, and I'm going to run it how I'm not supposed to run it. So I kind of broke the rules a little bit.
One-on-one.
I gave him the same move. Came up, boom, turned him that way. Kept it tight, kept it skinny.
Tyreek just runs by him.
And the rest is history. I just ran right by him.
Wow. Most of the corners that you face are taller than you. Do you change your release points and the way you get off jams based off of how big someone is?
One thing my dad always taught me, against shorter corners, I want to be closer to you because I'm stronger than you. And so against a corner like Michael Davis, I'm on the line, but I'm backed up a little bit. Like, I'm giving myself room so I can give you a quick move, do whatever I need. If I'm able to give myself room, put fear in your heart, and give you a quick move, we win.
So with all that attention that you get, all your other guys, it gives them some one-on-one opportunities.
That's great for them. We got a receiver one on the other side in Waddle, and if guys want to double me or triple me, he's going to go for 300 too. So that's how many weapons that this offense has.
Game time, Noah! Tua seems like he's come back with just this confidence. What's different about him from last year to now?
He's more vocal than ever.
What a throw by Tua!
When it comes to timing, efficiency, Tua's the guy.
Let's be special tonight, boy. Does Belichick have your number?
I will say this, Coach Bill Belichick, he really knows how to take away the #1 threat, and he has always given me challenges.
What are some of the things that he's doing?
I remember when I was in Kansas City, he used to put the fastest guy on me and then put a safety over top, and the whole time the safety's not worried about nothing else. Last year, they kind of did the same plan, but they gave me a little bit more one-on-one, so I'm looking forward to it.
He's always very open with you, sharing those secrets. You got that entire interview on the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. Your biggest takeaway, though, from that conversation?
Well, we sit back as fans and we marvel at his physical ability, his speed, his explosiveness, how high he can jump. But what I learned about him is he's a very smart football player. He's very conscious of where the cornerback's at, where the safety's at, even the linebackers. Just a very intelligent football player.
And he knows what's going on tonight, because talking to every Patriot out here, they all talked about stopping number 10, and they're not going to give him those one-on-one shots like this.
And, Coach, it comes down to, if I'm Coach Belichick, I'm playing bend but don't break. I'm going to force them to go up and down the field on 8 to 12 play drives and see what happens in the red zone.
Every time Tua sees these one-on-ones, he's going to Tyreek. But if you pay too much attention to him, they also have Jalen Waddle.
And, Coach, you just said it. You saw Jalen Waddle running routes, and he is so fast and so explosive. But watch out for Braxton Berrios, too. He's a young man that can play.
I remember spending some time with Tyreek Hill last year. He said, I love Kansas City, but Miami is made for me. I'm living the American dream down there, playing like it in week number 1. Back into you, Maria.
All right, thanks, Jack. We're going to get you to a divisional round rematch. Kansas City coming off of that loss against the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's a hot one, okay?
Look at the pool.
Yeah, Simpson triple digits, but Chris Jones is back, and he made his impact felt early.
Oh, he made a huge impact this sack, but it freed up everybody else having him on the field. Just the pass rush looked great today.
Travis Kelce also making his debut, Jason.
The complementary players for the Chiefs played better, but there's no question Mahomes is comfortable getting his guy back, and he kicked it into the end zone.
Patrick Mahomes' 28th birthday, he finds his buddy. Travis Kelce's got to be happy about that. Trevor Lawrence's pass to Calvin Ridley is incomplete. They were 0-3 in the red zone.
The defense showed up, and I think that was Chris Jones coming back that gave the defense a lot of confidence.
Patrick Mahomes a little confidence on this play. 54 yards to Sky Moore.
Yeah, master of the obvious. Nobody extends the plays better than Patrick Mahomes does. And again, Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, Noah Gray, they all played better. That guy's the trigger man. Big win for the Chiefs.
A win for his birthday. 17-9, they get the victory on the road. All right, Chris, Zach Wilson back starting quarterback. Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles last week. Wilson, the one good play for the Jets today, gets it to Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, that's right. Right here we were going, oh man, is Dallas going to blow them out? They come out with a little play action pass, and all of a sudden we got a ball game again at 10-7.
Oh, not so fast, my friend. Ensuing drive. Dak Prescott incomplete to CeeDee Lamb, but John Franklin Myers flagged for roughing the passer.
Yeah, can't make mistakes like this, and especially on this day, it's a little too low. It's tough, I know, but Dak and that offense were on fire. He played really well.
All right, New Jet Dalvin Cook stripped here by Micah Parsons, who just had a monster day.
Micah Parsons is unreal. I've never seen anything like him. I mean, just the explosiveness all over the field, the instincts, everything about him is really, really top-notch.
Okay, Wilson pressured by Parsons here, and then he's intercepted by Curse. The Jets would have 4 turnovers in the second half, and ultimately Dallas gets the win 30-10. Yeah, let's scream about it. Let's get excited, Dan Quinn. Micah Parsons' monster day, but take a look at the QB comparison. Dak Prescott, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. As we said, turnovers an issue for the Jets trying to have an opportunity. But let's get back to what we saw from Micah Parsons and what he was able to do defensively for the Cowboys.
You know, Simsy said he's never seen anything like it. You have seen something like it, Simsy. When you were a kid, watching your old man play for the Giants was a guy number 56, Lawrence Taylor, and that's what this guy is. I'm not saying he's Lawrence Taylor right now, but he's the most disruptive player in the National Football League. He does it time and time again. You can't block the guy.
Yeah, and we were waiting to see that. You know, are the Jets going to be able to play their kind of formula, good defense, run the ball? Micah Parsons messes all of that up. The sacks, making big plays, stripping Dalvin Cook. He puts the pressure on you, and then the offense scores, and now you have to throw the ball, and now he's at his best.
The other big piece of this is on the back end, Dallas is very aggressive. They sit on routes. They make a lot of plays. They turn the ball over. And the reason is number 11 is forcing the quarterback to throw it. It's a clock in his head. If I don't get this ball out, they don't have to cover for very long. He's dynamic. He changes the whole team.
Parsons did so much, I can't memorize the stats. 2 sacks, 4 QB hits, 3 tackles for loss, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, and 1 pass defense. That's how much stuff that he was able to do and pull off. And he said it was going to be his best year this season. All right, Chris, we talked about the Chiefs and Chris Jones returning. What was his impact on the field?
Yeah, we usually talk about Chiefs offense, right? But really, week 1, Chiefs defense was encouraging. Week 2, with the big guy back, right? One of the best defensive tackles in football. They were even more impressive. First off, they move him around. We know he can stop the run, but he can beat guards on the inside, tackles off the edge. He's got great awareness to get hands up in passing lanes, bat passes down. He really was great, gives them a lot of energy. And speaking of Chris Jones, my buddy Mike Florio talked to him earlier.
Yeah, and he did all that today, Chris, on a pitch count. He told me he was in for about 34 or 35 snaps in the game. And he said it's going to last for another week or two while he gets reacclimated to football. But he told me, I'm ready to get off this stuff. Only he didn't say stuff.
Always edit it. We appreciate that, Mike Florio. All right, it's time for Barry's Bet presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Matthew, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Maria. Well, listen, I have the Patriots offensive line missing 2 starters. What does that mean? Pressure going to Mac Jones. He's going to dump it off to Ramondre Stevenson. Last week, Ramondre led the team. He was tied for the team lead in receptions and receiving yards. He had 64 receiving yards. That is an area to attack because since the start of last season, the Dolphins allowed over 40 receiving yards a game, so running back including 47 last week. I think Ramondre Stevenson easily gets to 25 or more. By the way, you guys were right. Hail the Commanders, hail victory. I was screaming outside the studio. When we come back, more of the best of week 2, including my Commanders victory.
All right, the countdown is on for Sunday Night Football. Miami looking to start 2-0 for the 2nd straight season. Meanwhile, New England hasn't started 0-2 since 2001, but they're hosting the Dolphins in Foxboro, trying to get a victory. It is time now for the best of week 2. We had a couple of overtime games, but the crazy finish in Detroit was one of my favorites. The Seahawks getting the victory against the Lions.
3 wide receivers in the game. Gino is looking. Now he throws far side. It's Lockett. Does he reach the ball across? He does. Yeah. It's over, baby. Touchdown, Seahawks. Wow, what a comeback. What a game by these Seahawks.
The celebration was incredible in the locker room, though, right? Still in the ski mask. They wanted to be the villains and walk away with the victory. Geno Smith, 328 yards passing, and this incredible touchdown drive wins and seals the overtime victory. Remember, they were coming off that lopsided loss, too, against the Ravens.
And then you got the Dallas Cowboys, Maria. Dak Prescott was phenomenal. We know this Dallas defense was awesome, but Dak Prescott and the offense, they were the stars of the show today, and they really gave this Jets defense issues.
Ravens defense was awfully good, but the star of the show was that man right there, Lamar Jackson, looking awfully comfortable in Todd Monken's offense. Plays with his feet, plays with his arm. He's tough to stop. Big win for the Ravens.
Yeah, and we were in Kansas City when all of the talk was there's no Chris Jones, there's no Kelsey. Well, guess what? Those 2 guys were back today, and they made their presence known. Travis Kelsey with a touchdown and a great punt, and then Chris Jones beating tackles, beating guards, doing whatever he could to make sure Kansas City got a win on the road at Jacksonville. And you said it earlier, getting a win was the biggest thing for the Chiefs, and they did that today.
Yeah, it's an ugly game, and the best team, just like the best pitchers, when you don't have your best stuff, you find a way to win. That's what the Chiefs did. It was a hot day down there. They're getting their stars back. The thing that jumped out for me, though, the red zone defense of the Chiefs, they kept the Jaguars out of the red zone, out of the end zone for most of this ball game.
And you got to give them credit. I've played in those hot games in Jacksonville, and it feels like you're running in quicksand. You're like, oh, but they continue to show up, and I think that man-to-man in the red zone made it really tough for Jacksonville.
And you see all the people swimming in the pool like we're playing football. They're in the pool. What's going on here?
So it's a victory for Patrick Mahomes on his 28th birthday. Now 1-1 are the Chiefs. All right, it's time now for the home team picks brought to you by Lowe's. And as always, we start with America's pick. Jack?
Maria, 79% of the country believes in Miami, the best offense in week 1. But could it be the perfect setup for an old school Bill Belichick masterpiece? You look at Tyreek Hill, his last 5 games against New England, hasn't had one game over 100 yards. Give me the Patriots tonight. Coach, where are you leaning?
I'm with you, Jack. I usually pick speed, but we've seen Bill Belichick slow things down. I think it's going to be an ugly game, running the ball, a lot of field goals. Favorite.
Where will the Dolphins get their pass rush? Their best pass rusher, Jalen Phillips, he's not playing tonight. Bradley Chubb, since they acquired him, he's been average. I got to go with the Patriots. I mean, this is a great atmosphere. Look at these fans!
It's fun hanging out with Rondi around here. Over to you, Florio.
Fascinated by the Miami offense. There's still only 11 guys on defense. Double Tyreek Hill, double Jalen Water. Somebody's going to be open, Matthew Berry. I think the Dolphins are going to score enough points to win this one.
What a shock. Rodney Hatterson took the Patriots in New England. Shocking there. I'm with you. I think this offense is too good. The Patriots are better this year, but not the Miami Dolphins. Give me Miami, Chris Sims.
It's one of the most explosive offenses in football. Mike McDaniel, all the stuff he does before the snap, after the snap, I think New England could keep it close. But I just think, honestly, Miami Dolphins got a little too much talent. Over to you, Maria.
I'm taking the Dolphins just to get on Devin's nerves. We got
that's how you doing me. I'm going. I mean, I think everybody knows. I'm going Patriots. Marcus Jones filling in for Jonathan Jones is the X factor tonight.
No, the X factor is your old ball coach. That's the X factor. He's not going to let Waddle. He's not going to let Tyreek Hill beat him down the field. He's going to force the Dolphins to drive it. I don't think they can do it. I think the Patriots win at home.
All right, just minutes away from kickoff and the opportunity for the Dolphins to get a victory against their rival in Foxboro. We will see you at halftime. Please enjoy the first half. You got Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth coming up after the break.
This has been the Hyundai Sunday Night Kickoff. Spanish language audio provided by Telemundo Deportes. Or watch tonight's game in Spanish on Universo.